Okay, so we're gonna go to search. We're gonna go to residential detail. Okay, and we're gonna go to single family because this is a single family. So that takes care of our first criteria, which is same type of property. We're gonna go to the second criteria, which is active, under contract, pending, and closed the last 6 months. We're gonna go to our third criteria, which is within a mile radius of the location. So I'm gonna copy and paste the location there. So we're within a mile radius of the location, yes. And we're gonna go to the next part, which is the bedroom and bathroom. So you said it's three, three and one plus. So one plus, all right. So one plus. Oops, wrong key. One plus, and then the living area you said is 1600. So watch this. 1600, 1600 multiplied by 0.90. That gives me 10% less. That's 1440. All right. So I'm gonna round it up to 1400. Okay. All right, and then 1600 multiplied by 1.1, which is 10% more, gives me 1760. You can round it up to 1800 if you want. Okay, so that keeps it consistent. And then standard cell, right? And now we have the results. Now, before we go into the results, I want to go into the map, and I'll tell you the reason why. And it happens. It always happens like this. There's some areas, I don't know this particular area too much, but there's some areas that change depending on what side of the street you're in, right? Yeah. Let me give you some examples of that. You know North Long Beach and Bixby Knolls? North Long Beach and Bixby Knolls? But you know where they are, right? North side of the south side of the Lamo is Bixby Knolls. Average sales price is $700,000. South side is North Long Beach. Average price is $400,000. So like $300,000 difference just because of which side of the street you live in, right? So it is always important also to figure out which side of, so to speak, which side of the street the property is in, because you will notice, especially in Los Angeles. Oh my God, Los Angeles is kind of crazy because you see some property that is selling for 600, and like 2 blocks down is like $1.2 million. It's like, oh my God, right? There's so much different depending. It's a historical area, a non-historical area. You know, there's some properties, some areas where they have built out this huge mansions, 3,000 square feet and things like that, next to these areas where, the ghetto part, so to speak, right? So you have to be aware of what's in the area. So right now, I don't know what's in the area, but I can kind of get a feeling, of the properties around the area. So I'm looking at this property that is right here, is just north of the 210 freeway. I see there's a couple of listings here. You can see that 980, 899, $1,000,001. Do you see that? And then we go 839, 955. They're actually very consistent. 875, 830. So this area is kind of consistent. All right. What I'm concerned about is those that go from like 600,000 to $1,200,000. Those are the ones that you have to be careful with, right? But the area is very consistent. So the next thing that we need to do once we go to results here, the next thing that I want to do is I want to sort them out from lowest to highest price. So from the lowest price to the highest price. What I want to do is I want to look, I want to see what kind of the middle ground is. I want to get a feeling, what the middle ground is. We're going to do a price per square feet right now, but what I want to do is I want to get a feeling of what is, what is selling there, for how much is selling for, kind of in the middle, towards from the middle to the highest, because we're still in the seller's market and properties are still selling for more, and property appreciation is still happening. Now, when the market shifts and the properties start coming down, I'm going to be looking at the bottom to the middle. But for right now, I'm looking at the middle to the high, right? So if I'm looking at the middle to the high, I'm looking at properties here between 902, for example. You see, all of these are very close together. 889, 899, 902. We're looking at 940. We're looking at 960. We're looking at 980. And then we have those oddballs here that are $1,000,000 plus. Those properties there. You need to look at them and you need to see, well, how does this property compare to the property that I have? So talk to me about the property a little bit. What is the condition of the home right now?
It's very good because they redone, the kitchen. They redo the kitchen. They added the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he said all the floorings are new.
Okay.
He rewired the whole property, electrical.
Mm-hmm.
And the AC is new.
Okay.
So those
what about the location of the property?
Location, it's on a main street, kind of main street.
Let me look at the Google Maps to have an idea what it
And
looks
it's
like.
very close to elementary school,
Okay.
which my kids went there.
Your kids went there? Okay. So you know the area?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me look at the street view so we can look at what it looks like. All right, so watch this. So I'm going to look at the property because I haven't seen it. So I'm going to look at it right now, right? So I'm looking at the property here. Is it this one here?
Yes.
Okay, so it's that property right there. I'm looking at the area here. All right, and they're like smaller single family homes, nothing too fancy, etc., etc. Location must be like, the what it is that is driving the prices up. Because I'm looking at 900,000 and $1 million. And if this house was in a different area like Compton, it wouldn't be worth more than six, right? But because of the area, right? Because of Pasadena, right? Because of the area, right?
Yes.
So I'm looking at this. Okay, so now the next thing that I need to do is I need to go and look at all these properties, and I'm going to start somewhere in the middle here because, like I said, right now I'm just doing middle to high. So I'm going to start around 900,000, and the question in my mind is, how does this property compare to his property? And if it does, I'm gonna keep it. And if it doesn't, I'm not gonna keep it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the next thing. Is the next thing is to try to find those properties that compare to his property. Put yourself under this assumption. If I were to bring this property to my client, and I'll say, well, here's a property that is comparable to your home. Will the client agree with you and say, yeah, that looks like my home? Or the client will say, that doesn't look anything like my home. That's what you're looking for, right? That's what you're looking for. You wanna have that agreement with the client, right?
That's the key.
That is the key. That is the key. So I'm gonna assume I'm gonna just pretend right now that this property is the same. So I'm gonna select that property, right? And then I go to the next one here. And the question is, how does this property, compare to that property, right? So if the answer is yes, I'm gonna keep it, all right? I go to the next one here. This one here, same thing, right? I'm gonna keep it. It's kind of the same, right? We haven't looked any. We don't have any old balls. What about this one here? Has two stories. That would. It's a single story. So this one we're gonna skip. We're gonna go to the next one here. How about this one here? Does that compare? Yeah, and you're looking at the pictures, interiors, things like that. Yeah, kind of like, okay, all right, so we're gonna keep that one. And then you can do this exercise on your own. Right now we're kind of like just testing right now, right? So what about this one here? This one, it looks kind of crappy. Yeah, do you think he's gonna like it? He's gonna say, oh yeah, this is exactly what my house looks like, right? No, right? So we're gonna skip that one. We're gonna go to the next one, right? What about this one here? Kind of, sort of. No? Okay, we're gonna skip that one. Let's go to the next one. And once again, we're doing it a little fast, but you need to go a little slow, look at the pictures, read the information, etc. That's two stories, so no, it doesn't compare. Okay, let's go to the next one here. That one, yes, okay. Yeah. Another thing that you're looking for is to see if they have pools. Does your property have a pool?
No.
Okay. All right, because some of these properties may have a pool. This one has a pool. You see that? And I kind of noticed that. So we're going to skip that one because it has a pool for right now. Okay. If we have enough comparables, we don't need it. If you need it, then you can adjust for the pool. This one has a pool too, so that would probably not be one. So let's go to the next one here. This one's two-story, kind of like larger home, so we're going to skip that one. What about this one here? This one is nice. This one looks okay. Let me see, does it have a pool? Yeah, has a pool too. So we should have just removed the pools. Anyways, that's another. What about this one here? Oh, that one looks nice, right? But it has two stories. Okay. It may not be exactly the same, so we're gonna, and like I said, we're just kind of going fast. This one here looks terrible, and it's selling for, and it's still available, and it's 1.1 million, and it looks horrible, and probably it's not gonna sell for that, so I'll probably not include that one on the list, right? Exactly. So now when I go to results now, and once again, you're gonna have to do this on your own. You're gonna have to do it a little bit slower, etc. Right? So we removed some of the properties here, so we got some of the properties that are there. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to go to Cloud CMA. So I selected the properties I'm gonna use. I'm gonna go to Cloud CMA, and now we're gonna pull out the property information. So we're gonna go to title. We're gonna copy that. We're gonna go to Cloud CMA. In Cloud CMA, what it's going to do is it's going to give us a price per square feet. So we're going to, now that we have selected the properties that we're going to use as comparables, now we can do a price per square feet. So I'm going to call this one Villa, fetch listings. So we're going to fetch the listings right now. And I want to take it to the next part, which is the table to see the price per square feet. So watch this now. Cloud CMA will use the properties that you selected, and it's gonna do a price per square feet analysis. You see that? Now, do you see how the prices are lower here? Why the prices are lower? Oh, why are they so low? Maybe the properties that we have are larger. Oh, wait a second. No. Wait a second. Remember that that property is 1600? It was pulling data from title, and it's probably pulling the data at 900. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah,
That's,
it has
oh,
to be
yeah,
16.
there, 16. There you go. I'm like, what the hell happened here? I'm like,
That's
what?
not right.
That's not right. That doesn't sound right. I know, right? That doesn't sound right. I know, right? That doesn't sound right, right?
I'll buy it myself.
Right?
Another area.
Yeah, no, that because Cloud CMA was pulling the title property, right? So you gotta be careful with that, right?
Okay.
All right. So usually it doesn't happen, but it happened now. So now it's gonna tell me the price. Now look at this now. So based on the comparables that we use, and once again, you gotta do those on your own. Kind of go a little bit deeper, okay? Because we did it really fast,
Right.
but you gotta go a little bit deeper. But now is what it's telling me is that on the sold prices, you know, the average price per square feet is $576 per square feet, and your property, based on the square footage that you have, going from lowest to highest, would go somewhere between 893 to 949. And then on the active properties, it will go 526. It will go from 816 to 866. That means that the active property right now is a little bit lower price, right? But if you combine both the sold and the active together as all, right, you have an average between 526 and 576. That will put you at 564, and the property will be worth between 875 and 929. You see that? So it's giving you all those averages, right? And like I said, you know, a lot of people don't use active properties, but I like to keep the actives. And the reason I like to keep the actives is because the actives will tell you where the market is going, and the sold will tell you where the market has been, right? Now you want to remove it, you can remove them too. You know, I can go here, I can go to the list and go to active property right here and just remove it from the list. And there you go, it's removed, right? If you wanted to, you know, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you can remove it from the list, right? So now once you have done that, the next part is to package it really, right?
Okay.
And in order to package it, you go to customize report, yeah. And then there is certain pages that I use. Now Cloud CMA gives you a ton of pages that you can use. I don't use all the pages that they offer you because there's too many. So I use the following. So write them down, okay? So I use title, page, map of all listings, suggested list price, and I put that one up front and center because quite honestly, that's what they want to hear. And then listings details, and comparable property statistics, sold property analysis, and the cover page. So sold property analysis, that's okay, finished writing. Sold property analysis and the cover page, which is contact me. So those are the pages that I use. Like I said, Cloud CMA gives you a bunch of pages, but those are the pages that I use. In regards to the format that you want to use, I use the Cabernet theme. I don't like the Berkshire Hathaway they have. It's a cream color and it looks kind of ugly. So I use the Cabernet because the Cabernet is our color anyways. So I use the Cabernet color. The layout is the two properties per page, right? And the font I use is Georgia. You don't have to use the same things that I use, but you know those are the ones that I like. I like the most. All right. So now when I publish the report, it's gonna pull out the report. My wife is sick as a dog, and I don't want to get sick. So I've been taking. I started taking medicine this morning, even though I'm not sick yet. I started taking medicine this morning because I don't want to get sick. So now once you pull out the report is going to give you if you have a picture of the home, you can upload it there, by the way, so you don't have that ugly picture they put in there. But you have that prepared for It gives you the map of all the listings. So this right here is your subject, and those are the listings that you selected. All right. It gives you kind of a brief, summary of the listings, and then it gives you 2 properties per page, which is the template that I use. It gives you 2 pictures. Excuse me. The sales price, the status, bedroom, bathroom square footage, and sold date and so on. Right. So you have that. You have 2 of those on every page. And I use this template because 2 properties per page is very cost efficient because you're only printing a few pages.
Right.
And then the sold property analysis, it tells you what the price per square feet is on the sold properties, how many days on the market, active listings, how many days on the market. Look at this, average days on the market. They're selling like pancakes in there. Jeez, okay. Wow, that's good for you. And then finally, the sold property analysis tells you this is what they listed for, this is what it's sold for, what is the variance. So you can see here that properties on average are selling for higher than they're listed for. So that area is hot. Like I can see that area is hot, from going from this. So those are the things that you need. All right. I'm going to send you this by text message. So let me copy the link.
I was only missing a few details, so.
You were missing a few
Yeah,
details, but
I would go
you were almost
directly
there.
to CMA,
Yeah.
and I was not doing that.
Okay, let me stop the video because I think we recorded a lot.